Good evening, everyone. This is the after show. We got happening on. You got Mike Lauer, and we got our man Rock Hoffman down in the press box, and you can hear we're dancing on the phone. I'm about to dance out of my seat right now. Rock, what's going down out there?
Obviously, it's a crazy situation here. The fans go crazy. The players are out celebrating on the field, and as you can hear, dancing on our road.
Oh, absolutely.
Sweep the Marlins with a 7-1 victory tonight here at Citizens Bank Park.
Yes, they pretty much put up a touchdown, and they take care of the Marlins. You're going from one divisional opponent to the next. So, Rock, I got to ask you, what do you think of the small ball and the aggressive base running throughout the series?
Well, and that's what I was thinking before I came on. If you had said that Christian Pache and Johan Rojas were as important to this offense as Kyle Schwarber or Bryce Harper, you'd have been locked up in an asylum somewhere. But they were. Last night it was Rojas. Tonight it was Pache working a walk, coming around on a double by Schwarber to put the Phillies up 1-0. They got another after it was a Charlie Brown type play when Trey Turner hit it off the hip of Braxton Garrett, the starter of the Marlins, and it found it in the right field. And Schwarber's able to run home. After that, it was 2-0, and JT with a big home run to make it 3-0. And we were kind of relaxed because Aaron Nola was really dealing tonight. He had a little, I don't want to say ran into trouble, but he had a couple base runners, but they were able to race them. He picked one guy off. They got double plays, and the Marlins never threat. And then Bryson Stott with the big grand slam to kind of put icing on the cake, and then it was just counting outs after that.
Hey, Rock, this is Mike, man. Listen, I wanted to ask you, do you feel like Rob Thompson going to a 6-man rotation is benefiting the Phillies now come October?
Well, I mean, you'd have to say they got beyond excellent starting pitching in this series, both Wheeler and Nola. I mean, I don't know what you could ask for from those guys. You couldn't ask for. Nola goes 7 innings tonight, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts or something like that. So, everybody can take that. What you got from Wheeler last night, you take that. So perhaps that did give them a little life at this time of the season, going to that 6-man rotation for a while.
Yeah, Rob, so 2 quick questions for you. The pitching's been great between Nola and Wheeler. Been very, very solid. Let me ask you, who is going to be the X factor going into this Braves series for you?
You'd have to think that's probably going to be somebody out of the bullpen. I would expect that they're going to be tightly played games, so it's going to come down to the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. So maybe somebody out of the bullpen, maybe the guy that, although we gave up the only run in the game tonight, somebody like Gregory Soto, who's kind of been under the radar, somebody like that is going to have to step up. I mean, the kid, Orion, came in tonight, pitched 8th, and he looked like he was a 10-year veteran, not some guy that was pitching for Clearwater in May. So maybe him, who knows?
What we really like about this team is just when you think somebody is struggling, that's when they step up in big clutch moments. You've seen it today, right? JT Remoto has kind of been back in the middle part. he comes through in this series. Bryson Stott, who has been much needed of a hit, let alone he comes through with a big-time grand slam. So these guys are performing. And like I said, just when you think someone's going through a slump, that's when they step up in these key moments. So that's one thing about this offense you can take away. And another thing you could take away is the infield defense from Alcone. I mean, he was sharp at third base tonight. He had a couple looks that came out of him, and he capitalized on all of them. So he was really, really on pace of taking care of business.
Yeah, the infield defense was great, and I mean, I'm kind of stunned almost that you win a series, a playoff series, with Mr. Pache and Johan Ross as 2/3 of the starting outfield. I love those guys. They play great defense, and they proved in this series at least that they were able to get on base and help the team offensively. And that's just icing on the cake, I think, when you get it from those guys. So I'm just looking. Last night, every starting player got a hit. Tonight, every starting player was on base, with the exception of Rojas. Castellanos was on via an error, but he's still on base. So 8 of the 9 starters get on base. And so they're not relying on one guy to do it. Everybody's pitching in, and that's what you need in playoff baseball, because you're going to run into a tough pitcher who's going to be able to get some guys out for 2-3 innings. But if the bottom part of the order can come through, that could really pay dividends and help you win a game.
Well, absolutely. Listen, Rob, we know you got to get downstairs, go cover the team. I appreciate taking a few minutes to hop on with us. Rob, thank you so much. And, guys, catch Rob. His article should be coming up here on Edge of Philly Sports. Follow him. Great stuff as always. Rob, I want to thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Starting Saturday in Atlanta for the NLDS.
Let's go.
Bring them
on the Braves. Yeah.
Listen.
Bring on the Braves.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
See you, buddy.
You have it, Rock. Pat, listen. Yeah. You already know where I stand with this. I want the Braves. I want the Braves.
Yes, you do.
We can shut everybody up.
Again, even me.
Yeah, even you. The Braves, from April to September, are a phenomenal team. But once that calendar hits October, they choke up worse than a fatty eating a T-bone. So I'm not worried about the Braves. We are going to. Taking the Braves.
Before we go any further, let me get into some of these great comments here. I know we had Rock on, so Dan checks in. He goes, "Go Phillies, yo!" What's up, Daniel? Chris Moore checking in. NLDS will be on TBS. Thanks for the heads up. Joey Woods, you can check him out on the Steel Step podcast. He goes, there is a home field advantage when there's Philly. All right, yeah, I think so. Chris also checking in. Chris Moore says, now we have to try to take the first 2 games and split the go-ahead on the road. I totally agree. If we could take the first game, Chris, I think that's most important. And we could take that first. Mike, how do you feel about this comment?
I agree with him, because that's what we did last year. We went down there, we took game 1, Atlanta took game 2, and then Atlanta never won again. Hey, listen, Brian Snickers said it the best. This is 3 hours of hell. When they come here, and you listen, they let their fans in today to go watch Max Fried pitch a simulated game. Like, they're trying to rush this guy back because they need him. Like, it's already in their mind, man. The Phillies, Atlanta did not want the Phillies. And no. Which, by the way, I'm a little messed up with this seeding with the NL of why they don't reseed afterwards. I mean, for Atlanta, who had the best record, should be playing the worst team, and that should have been Arizona. But unfortunately, we get to play them again in the divisional.
Hey, listen, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And like you said, just to quickly let everybody know, the Diamondbacks have beat the Brewers. I mean, went into Milwaukee with no problem. So, Mike, you and I have talked about this on our Sunday morning show. You said, look out for the Diamondbacks. I said, Diamondbacks I'd rather face. I'm pumping the brakes right now. I'm coming to a screeching halt after what I saw up in Milwaukee.
Listen, the better team won that series. Like, we all knew whoever came out of this Central was a fraud waiting to get beat. It didn't matter who. It's the truth. If you look at it throughout the National League this year, that Central Division was god-awful. And it just so happens that, Milwaukee's got good pitching. But, Arizona's got good pitching and good hitting, and you saw what happened today. Again, guys, the first time in a while too, Pat, that in wild card, well, not wild card weekend anymore, but it's wild card, the wild card series, no game threes. Everybody got taken out in 2 games.
Hey, listen, they're pushing the process along. I want to check with Lou. I don't know what he said, but go Phillies. Yeah, absolutely. Chris Moore checking his NLDS now set Phillies versus Braves, Dodgers versus Diamondbacks. Yes, we just alluded to that. Two divisional matchups, which is must-watch TV. Tracy checking in his show. She's way to go Phillies. Alice Rogers checking in. Go Phillies, bring on the Braves. Man, there are people chopping at the bits for the Braves. And look, listen, after a win like today, a convincing win, a win where you're starting 2 pitchers look promising on the hill. Now, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. There was a couple of pitches I saw from Nola that were a little outside. It had me a little bite in my teeth because guys from that Marlins lineup were hitting. But they obviously it didn't go nowhere. So it actually helped out with the Phils. Christopher Moreland says again, Nola going 7 innings with a lead was huge. Yeah, and that is the most important too, Chris. Having Nola go 7 innings is something unique. You don't have him going that. It's usually 5 in the out. And I thought for sure once everyone came on the hill and had that meeting, I thought Nola was going to have to leave. But no, he hung in there and he fought to the end. He is a dog, and you know what, Mike, you said this. The one commentator from TBS has said it. I'm trying to Spaltz. He said it. The Phillies, if they get into the dance, look out. And this, and I've said it myself. And I know people are going to say, "Oh, you're going to call me a flip flopper." I understand that. I have always said I am not worrying about this offense. This offense is World Series bound. You can see it. Guys through 1 through 9 on paper, they're on 1 through 9.
But Pat,
but Mike, let me ask you a question before we go any further. No Brandon Marsh, no problem.
Okay, and for what? I mean, Brandon.
No, I'm just saying this is a
Brandon Marsh is he's a platoon outfielder. Like you know, and it was smart by Topper. You got to give Topper credit for this series. Topper, they knew he was going to go. Listen, Brandon Marsh don't hit left-handed pitching. I mean, I know he's gotten better as the year went on, but he doesn't. Over the year, he's not been real good against left-handed pitching. So I want to make sure that, you know, or he wanted to make sure that, you know, he got Pache in, and there's really no difference. Me and Al were talking about this when Al was at the studio earlier. We were talking about this. There's really no difference defensively between Marsh and Pache. So, I mean, why not put him in there? If they're going to throw a left-hander at you and your guy's not hitting left-hander real good.
I'm going to beg to differ. You said there's not much of a difference. You said Pache, excuse me. Rojas, to me, plays better fielding than.
Oh, no, Rojas is solid. And you know what? This is where I got to give the Phillies a little bit of credit because what my biggest thing with the Phillies is that they don't develop enough young talent. Well, seeing the kid Orion coming up, the pitcher who pitched in the 8th inning, blew away. That kid moved up every level this year and has been dead on. Rojas coming up, being dead on. Weston Wilson being brought up. You know, I think the Phillies got a bright future with some of these young guys. So, I mean, going farther, I mean, you know, I'm excited about this Braves series, Pat. You know, I'm not a big believer in the Braves. It's October, dude. September's over. Okay, they had their fun. The Braves are a team. The Braves and the Dodgers are teams that have fun between April and September. Soon as the fall turns, they turtle up like you in the morning.
Well, hello. I'm just looking for a good time. Joey Wood says, great team, great win. Great win this team was putting together for one thing only, 11 more wins to go. Totally agree, Joe. And listen, again, and I'm going to go back to, circle back to having, Trey Turner having his beginning first half seasons. We were all scratching our heads. But, when the crowd got behind this man in the second half of the season, my man has turned it up and has never looked back.
I'll tell you what, four doubles in 2 games. 4 doubles in 2 games for Trey Turner. I mean, God, it says when will the pitching matchups be posted? Probably tomorrow. They're probably going to start doing that tomorrow. But I imagine Rangers going to go game 1. Because if
Right.
you go Ranger game 1, you basically have Wheeler and Nola for games 2 and 3. So it kind of gives the Phillies advantage there. I would imagine either, Smitty's already commented on that.
Hold on. I'll deal with that, Clem, in a minute. I want to talk about this. Right here, our man Christopher Moore says, when will the pitching matchup will be posted? When will the pitching matchup be posted? That's a great question, Chris. I don't know. I imagine by Friday or Saturday morning, you're going to find out. That's a great question. Here goes Alice Rogers checking in. Who's starting on Saturday for us? Again, Alice, once we find out, we'll get to it. Here goes this bozo from Sanbu first. You can catch him. Where 4 other guys got to carry him because he's dead weight.
No, stop with that. Don't take personal shots.
Yeah, I'm just calling for what it is.
Listen, Smitty's passionate.
No, he's not. Let's not go there. Philly goes, Joe, how goes? Great Phillies win. I hope Zach Wheeler is on Saturday. There goes Chris. He goes, who do you put in for games 3 and 4 and 5 if you're the manager? You want to go first?
Yeah, I would, because they can go a bunch of different ways, really, if you look at it. The best thing is they can probably get Ranger and Zach probably both in that series. You know what I mean? Like whoever, it all depends on really who they want to do. If they want to start, you don't know what they're going to do yet. You don't know what Rob's going to do. I would imagine that it's going to be Ranger Suarez going in game 1 because he hasn't pitched, and you don't want to let him sit for 2 weeks. That's an awful long time between starts. So
here goes this bozo again. This bozo says, you are a flip-flopper.
You're a fish out of water.
Hold on. You zip it. Let me talk to this bozo. He goes, you all of a sudden you're a believer. Get out of hold on, dude. First of all, learn something about the sport of baseball before you hop on anybody, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, Smitty, you are nothing but a homer. You don't know anything.
You need to get a room.
Hold on. Let me. You need to stay out of this. You need to learn the sport of baseball before you even say a word. Okay, Smitty? Wow. So go back, learn something, and then you come on our show and say something. Other than that, Smitty, stay out. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't like you at night. I like you better in the morning. Did you not eat something tonight?
No, that little punk gets on my nerves day in and day out. Here goes Joey Woods. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, he did. That's what that needed to happen. He needed to come through with a big hit. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, that was a no doubter. When he hit that, I screamed. I'm here at the studio, man. I went nuts. Don't skip over that, dude.
No, that's all right.
He's giving you the. He's giving you.
No, I don't care about him. Let's go.
Well, anyway, pitching matchup. It looks like Suarez game 1, Wheeler game 2, and then Nola game 3. I like those 3. You only need to win 3. And right now, I think their best pitcher right now is going to be Spencer Strider, and it looks like he might get the chance to pitch at home this year instead of pitching here. So, yeah.
Pat's got me going from 6 to midnight. But anyway, listen. The Phillies looking great, looking solid on the hill, both aspects of the game, and that's what you needed. You needed a dominant performance from both sides. You got good pitching. You got good pitching from Wheeler. You got good pitching from Nola. I made the comment of it didn't matter. I said I'd rather had Nola going into this series because Nola already came off of 2 great games. His last 2 games, his first game only allowed 4 runs. Second game he only allowed 6 runs. Then on top of that, he gave 16 strikeouts. 16. That dude was beasting it.
Yeah, he was. And not to get lost tonight too. I mean, I really felt like if you're looking
oh man. Let's take a couple of comments here. I'm pumped the Utley J breaks. Wow, I'm pumped the Utley J breaks. The Junior J. Here goes Joey Howe checking in. JT is starting to hit again. Yeah, listen, and that, again, you want to talk about someone stepping to the plate and one hit. He did it. He came through. He listen, JT was remarkable through this whole series, and again, someone stepped up. Again, when someone looks like they're about to go cold, ice cold, someone else comes up and comes up with a big time hit.
Hey, Matt, before you get to this next comment,
hold on. Let me get to it, and then we'll get to the comments here. Relax, Mike. I see the faces. Relax. Calm down. Don't make me come down there. Come on, Matt. That's my man.
That's Pop getting ready to come down here and smack us kids around.
Yeah,
well, guys, listen. If you want to go, make sure you go right here to sherrystix.com. They have all the seats you need for sports, concerts, theaters. Guys, type in the promo code EOP10 and you will definitely get 10% off. And what you see is what you pay for. There's no hidden fees. So, guys, if you want to get down for games 3, 4, and 5 down at Citizens Bank Park, make sure you get down there. And again, use promo code EOP10 and go and have a good time.
Yeah, well, like I said, all right, look, let's get back right into this, Mike. The Phillies win the series. They are going to see the Braves this weekend. Who's your X Factor? I asked that to The Rock. I'm going to ask you, who's your X Factor going to the series?
My X Factor for the Phillies has got to be the bullpen. And I think they got on something with the kid Orion coming out late in the game. I think they got something there, Pat. And this is somebody. I don't know if Rob Thompson's going to put him in situations, high pressure situations, but the kid's throwing nasty, filthy stuff, man. And you got to line up like the Braves. This is where you got to use a kid like him. They haven't really seen him. There isn't that much tape of him. This is a kid who could probably come in and help you out, where you don't have to rely on a Kimbrel all the time or an Alvarado to do the setting up for Kimbrel, whatever. You throw this kid in, it can help him.
And I totally agree. So Steve checking in goes, I don't get why the F would someone want to put Dave Robertson in a hole for in 2023? Thank you, Skip Shoemaker. Yeah, and you know what, Dave? You know what, Steve? I don't know why, again, the game was online, but that goes to show you, like, the Marlins were desperate. They were desperate because the management already thought that this offense was getting to Garrett right away. So that he pushed the panic button. And it didn't help them by any chance. It made things worse because this offense, once they start eating, they don't stop until the buffet line is completely out. They don't.
Yeah, listen, you got to give the Phillies credit, man. They took a team that they were kind of, I'm
gonna go with this one too, but the check-in with Joey, he goes, I'm worried about Ranger in the last 2 starts, gave up 6 to 4 earned run. Yeah, Joey, and that's I don't know if I want to go the Ranger route already. I mean, I understand you just went through your 2 aces, if you want to call it your 1 and 2s. But yeah, Ranger, I don't know. But after Ranger, this is what scares me. And you're going into the Atlanta. You want to take game 1. You're going to need Ranger at his best, and you're gonna. So I think it's going to turn to a bullpen game immediately.
Well, here's the thing. If it does turn into a bullpen game, Pat, you also have 2 other starters that you could throw in there to kind of give them, to kind of give Ranger. If he does need to pull Ranger out quick, you can go to a Taijuan Walker. You can go to a Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, keep going.
This is what I'm saying. They can go to these guys, and it's not like, they don't have to go out there and pitch 6 innings. These guys can go out and throw 3 innings each if Ranger gets in trouble. So I feel pretty good with those guys being able to come in and just do that. Because I don't think, if you're looking at it, really, I mean, Walker's probably not going to get a start probably until the NLCS, if they make it that far. Like, I really do. Like, I'm not scared of the Braves. I'm not. This is the time they turtle up the year. I know you're worried. You should go buy a dog in a tent and go live with Dave. And
yeah, but you got to understand, though, Mike. Again, you're bringing up names that cost you trouble. You're bringing up quality. The names
It's
that
a
cost me
brand new season, Pat. It's a
I
brand new
understand
season.
that, and listen, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, but from what I've seen in the regular season, this is what the last data that I have to come in carrying over with.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, like I said, I put it out there. I put it out there on my show. When it comes to the Braves and the postseason, they don't perform. They just don't. And they don't. There's always something there.
And I hope, I hope they get. And look, I hope they're a sleeping giant. I hope the Phillies just mow right through them. I hope the Phillies. This is where I hope the the Ranger and Suarez of the world can catch them sleeping and take advantage of a sleeping giant. This is this could benefit the Phillies going forward. If you could do that, and then you get Wheeler, then you get Noah back, and then you got something you can work with. But
that's even if I don't even know. Did Lorenzen even get put on the roster?
No, he not no.
No, that's right. That's right. He's down in Florida. So
yeah.
So, all right. So, but
does Walker go into the bullpen?
I mean, he could. I mean, Walker could, and you also forget about Christopher Sanchez too.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the last time he faced that Braves lineup, he gave up 3 runs. 3 runs to that lineup. Now that lineup's a good lineup, man.
Yeah, they got some heavy hitters, and
that's what I'm saying.
And like I said, just try and catch them sleeping right now. Like you said, it is a whole new season. It's a whole new slate. Everything's clean. Okay.
Yeah, here's the problem too. Yeah, but the Braves have been sitting around since Sunday, and they're going to play Saturday. You're going to be sitting around. Giant. Oh yeah. Listen, it's going to take them a couple games to get back into game mode. Like there's no simulation for that. So I'm not worried. Like I said, I think the worst thing in the world that could have happened to the Braves happened to them last year, and it's going to happen to them again this year. And everybody's talking about Acuna. Like, listen, I'm sorry. When you don't face in game type pitching, dude, like that's what hurt us. You know what I mean? That hurt us before. So, it is going to be what it is with them guys, man.
Well, and we got a Chris checking in here. He says, "You see this team? Don't worry, we got 11 more to go." And listen, and I wish I was confident, and I do feel confident. I feel a little better, okay? I had worries about the Marlins. Marlins coming into this, again, we talk about a whole new slate. Marlins had the 5th best pitching staff in the league. They had the 5th best hitting league staff in the league. And they took care of business. And you and I had this debate Sunday morning, who would you rather face, the Fish or Arizona? And you were right. Mike, you were right, because obviously you've seen this Diamondbacks team, they're catching heat. And they went to a Milwaukee Brewer team.
Listen, speaking of that Diamondbacks team, don't be surprised if they take the Dodgers to 5 games or even win that series. Because as much as I talk about the Braves choking in the postseason, the Dodgers are right behind the Braves. Like,
so this could lean.
Yeah, I mean, if the
this could lead to another desert disaster. You know what I mean? And not talking about for us. And that's if you get the Phils and the now you want to talk about Philly sports trip, Mike. Speaking of Philly sports, why don't you round that up for us?
Oh, yeah.
I was just trying to segue it, but
yes, no, I know you're not good at it, guys. Listen, if you want to go on a good sports trip, check out our guys over at phillysportstrips.com. They got all the Eagles games away and away games, trips. Guys, make sure you definitely check that out. I did the Washington trip a year ago. Me and Big Al Safiri had a great time. And you will too. If you want to go across the pond next year to see the Phillies and the Mets play in London, they got a trip for that. They got a trip coming up for the Union. Okay? Couple places to go see the Union. They also have the Flyers, who are playing the Stadium Series this year against the Jersey Devils up at Snoopy Stadium. They got tickets for that. Guys, just get over there. Get over there. And when you get over there, let Vinny know that, you seen it over here on EOP. And guys, and for the Eagles, they also have home tailgates. Again, tailgates, what they're charging for the tailgate, oh my God, they should be charging double. So make sure you guys get over to phillysportstrips.com, and it will definitely be something you will not regret.
All right, guys. Again, if you guys are just leaving the stadium, or if you guys are just tuning into the show, we are reacting to this Phillies and Marlins win, the PM and the AM here on a Wednesday night, breaking it down for you guys. And
staying up late here.
Yes. And me and Mike like to do, we stay up late and we like to master debate. So
Speak for yourself on that one there, big guy. And you're lucky. I ain't got no coffee. All I got was left is soda. So you're lucky on that one.
It's starting to kick in just a little bit.
Yeah, I
so
see. Jesus. You are definitely animated tonight. I agree with this with Steve. If they can't go with Ranger, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I like Christopher Sanchez.
I know you're Christopher Sanchez, guys. The only thing I worry about with Sanchez is he does not have a fastball in his repertoire. That's the only. If he had a fastball, I would be okay with it. But I think pitchers can adjust. Now, listen, if you want to talk about someone perfectly coming out of that bullpen, sign me up. I'm okay. I think he can get you through 3 or 4 with no problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, like, when people were talking.
I'll take him over Mike Lorenzen any day.
Well, listen, I wouldn't but I like the role that they're putting Lorenzen in. I mean, I know he's not on the roster for this round, but you got to also remember too, the new round starts, Pat, tomorrow, so they can bring Michael Lorenzen back. He was just not on the postseason roster for these 3 games.
But the old saying is, Mike, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I don't think I want to go down that avenue. I mean, I feel comfortable with the arms. Again, you were talking about people who struggle coming out of the bullpen. It looks like they've caught fire. Alvarado looks like he's caught fire.
Again, we had this conversation. We had this conversation on our show.
And I'm going to
when you were ripping him, Sir Anthony, I told you they're coming back from injury. They got to find their way.
And you know why? And you know what I think the way is, and people could think I'm nuts and crazy. I got to go back to the fan base. I think this Phillies team feasts off the fan base. Like, really,
that crowd down there, if you can't go out and give your all down at that crowd, oh God, I mean, John Kruk said it best. If you can't succeed here, it's because you weren't trying hard enough to succeed here.
And just not just that, Mike. I just think, listen, anytime you give your teammates the middle finger and not realizing that you did it, and just don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was his ring finger. He went like this with his ring finger, like he's letting them know it's about the ring.
No, everyone's like, because I've seen everyone's poking like.
Everybody thought like, because they kind of like the way they got away from it real quick. You kind of thought like, oh my God, did he really just flip his teammates off? And then all of a sudden, it was like, all right.
Here goes a couple more. We're gonna get into this. Man, and I appreciate everyone chiming in, staying up late with me and Mike. We appreciate it. Joey Woods checking in. I won't be surprised to see Lorenzen make it to the roster. He also checks in with this one. There is a definite reason to be worried with Acuna is healthy. If that's, again, you want to talk about leadoff man versus leadoff man. But Mike does bring a good point, though. If the history is going to repeat itself, regular season, of course, I was signed for Acuna. Postseason, I'll go Schwarber. Joe Hale checking is Braves are afraid to play the Phillies.
They are. And listen, like a lot of people bring up the numbers of the season series between the Braves and the Phillies, but the Braves and the Phillies, I think it was 6 of their 9 wins, Pat, or 7 of their 9 wins came in extra innings against the Phillies this year. A lot of extra inning ball played between the Phillies and the Braves. So the Phillies are right there with them. The Braves just got the better of the bullpen at the time. So,
right.
And I'm sorry, like I said, it's October now. This is where their sphincters get nice and tight down there in Atlanta. But it's going to be real good. I mean, Pat, did you see some of the other matchups too?
What's that?
You got Houston and Minnesota's playing, and then it's Texas and Baltimore playing down there. So I'm like, man, you got some pretty good series going on. The only one I'm not really interested in is that Arizona LA series, because it's like, give me a break. But I really think I think Arizona can make some noise.
That's why I'm more interested, because like you said, I want to see that franchise collapse. Like I just saw a Brewers team that's been red hot, had a team with pitching and hitting and all that fun stuff collapse. Just so I'm curious to know.
They collapsed. Toronto laid down and died like dogs today to Minnesota.
And again, it comes to divisional matchups. you take the gloves off and anything can happen. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? The gloves are coming off.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
You don't think a team like Arizona would love the fact to put the Dodgers out of the playoffs? And especially
Yeah.
the Dodgers ain't as good as they were even just a year ago. So,
Right.
I mean, like I said, the National League is far from overweight. And I really do think, that the Phillies Braves series is going to take prime time. It's going to be prime time central because this is basically the NLCS.
Right.
It's just coming around earlier. Whoever wins out of this series is going to the World Series. Because I'm sorry, I don't see Arizona hanging with the Phillies for 7, and I damn sure don't see the Dodgers hanging with the Phillies.
What if we could be entitled to a World Series rematch?
that's what I think. This is where the crossroads are going to happen.
I agree with you with the Phillies getting there. I don't agree with you with Houston.
Houston?
No, I think
Houston's got to face a nasty looking
Minnesota
team. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not
Minnesota, and then don't count out them Baltimore Orioles, man.
No,
them Orioles play good ball.
They do play good ball.
I think they could give Houston a run for their money. I'm picking Phillies and Baltimore for the World Series.
Yeah, so
here goes World Series picks.
Here goes a couple more. Waller checking. Thanks, Waller. There's my man Waller, a good Phillies baseball man right here. He goes, Phillies can hit 20-game winner Strider. Go Fightins. Here goes Steve. Steve goes, is Fred a real injury? I know Morton is out.
Yeah. Max Fried was a real injury. So they had him throwing a bullpen today down in Atlanta, just trying to get him ready. And they don't even know if they're going to have him back in time for this series or not. They're looking at maybe the next series going forward. So I think that kind of hurts Atlanta a little bit. Also, them not having Charlie Morton is also going to hurt them. But I will say this, man. Going into this series, Pat, I could see Pat's side of it where he's going, dude, they just were so dominant during the regular season. And I can see that. But, I mean, again, they were dominant a year ago. Them and the Mets were killing everybody all year. And the Dodgers were right behind the Mets. And literally, by the end of the division series, 201-win teams and another 90-plus win team were out of the playoffs. So, I mean, to me, I like to see what I can't wait to see. The Dodgers have lost so much starting pitching this year. I just can't see them overcoming this. I'm smelling Phil's Diamondbacks scenario.
I'm with you, Steve.
On that one. Yeah, I'm with them on that as well.
If they could get through the Braves, it's an instant invitation to the World Series dance. I don't scare anyone after that. I'm sorry, but just like I felt last year, I felt if the Phillies could climb through the Braves, I didn't worry about the Padres. I felt like they can outmatch the Padres. So here goes Joey Williams. Goes, I think Walker has proven to be a number 3. The reason this season, 15 wins, nothing to overlook. Joey, listen, I hear you about the 15 wins, but to me, he's been mediocre all year.
Yeah, he had 12 wins by the All-Star break. He's only won like 3 or 4. He's got like 3 or 4 wins in the whole second half. Rangers surpassed him as the number 3.
Yeah, I think, Joey, that you got more and more guys behind him. Not just that, your bullpen has been sharp. Your offense has been, been really, really good. So that's what's been getting him the dubs. Roy, what's up, Roy? Roy's the first time checking in her. Why the campaign celebration in the Phillies locker room, acting like they won the World Series championship?
Tradition, Roy. It's tradition, Roy. The Phillies do it when they win a series. They shower Topper down and they let them know how many more to get to where they got to get to. And besides, they closed them out. They're no different than what the Rangers celebrating today, Minnesota, and now Arizona. They all celebrated, man. They moved on. So that's
Roy, to piggyback what you're saying. Look, I get it. They're acting like they won, but every team's doing that right now. Every team that's just survived this wild card, knowing it's not that easy, knowing that your season is still on the line and moving forward. Yeah, that's what they're focusing on. So I appreciate you checking in those. Thanks. Steve also checking in. He goes, Sanchez is up to 93
And for now, Sanchez and Suarez is basically a switch bodies this year. And Cliff Lee didn't have a fastball either. He threw it up as well. Sanchez does now too. I hear you, Steve. And listen, yeah, but you're right. Cliff didn't have a fastball, but Cliff, I don't know, it was something about Cliff's game that was really, really spot on. I mean, then he had those low and away pitches where you guys couldn't swing. And listen, a Christopher Sanchez does have that, but I, listen, it's going to be, to me, it's going to be, I think the series between the Phillies and the Braves probably almost say goes a whole 7. So that's just me. Joey Sullivan checking in. What's up, Joey? He goes, bring on the ATL, baby. He goes, bring on the ATL, baby. And Eileen checking in. She goes, it's going to be a tough series for both teams. I agree. Roy checking goes, you're right. Winner for the series goes to the series. Well, I'm always right. That's the thing.
Yeah, in your own mind.
Yes.
You already admit. Yeah, listen, everybody watching this who doesn't watch our show already looked and said, yo, this guy's already said the other guy's been right about 10 times. So
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Here goes Steve. Phillies versus Rangers on opening day will be the rematch. Bruce Bucci is a Hall of Fame. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Man. I don't know about that because they can't beat Houston to save their life. So
yeah, but Bruce Bucci is a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I agree. He's got multiple World Series. Here goes Walter. He goes, I like that. I like that the Phillies has spent speed this year. Turner, Rojas, Pache can cause havoc on the bases, and that's why and Walter, I'm glad you brought that up. I think this is the reason why Rojas has been in the lineup more than Marsh, because he can, he doesn't have the bats. Like, that's the only thing Brandon Marsh has better. He has a more of a consistent bat, but Rojas does everything else. He can extend plays. He can steal. He's got speed. He's got 4 tools in his bag.
Pat, you're talking about Pache, not Rojas. Rojas is the start. Rojas is everyday center fielder. You for this here, it's been the swap has been Pache for Marsh. You know what I mean? Like, they're not moving Rojas anywhere.
Well, but back to his main point though, these guys do have speed, and the most amazing thing I found about this whole series is when Turner first came to the plate, and the eye of the tiger I saw in this kid's eyes told me the whole story. He wants the run more than anything. And the way he the whole face, there was no expression. He was just laser focused. And that's what I love. He had the eye of the tiger. I know it sounds corny and cliche, but it is what
I like Roy already.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Art. He goes, here goes my man, play-by-play with Double J. He goes, let's go. Well, yeah, thanks for checking in, Double J. Spencer, what's up? They just closed out business. Let them celebrate, man, and move forward. Yeah, well, listen, again, tonight they're going to celebrate, but tomorrow's back to business, and they realize what hill they got to climb come Saturday. I lost my voice from that call. Thanks. Appreciate it. Double J also. But I wanted to show you guys some love. Aaron Nola was incredible. Nola was good.
Thanks, JJ.
And look, I'm a Nola guy, but Wheeler was better in the series. And listen, and I'm not going to say, go tick for tack, but the only thing I didn't like about Nola, again, his location was somewhat out the box, and a lot of guys were hitting on him. He just was lucky enough never left the park, and really only one run got by, and that wasn't on him. So, but yeah, I mean, again,
I got Nola.
These two guys stepped up.
Yeah, Nola tonight was awesome, dude. 7 innings, no earned runs. He ended up with 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk.
Mike, and listen, we appreciate everyone. I love Bryson Stott, man. And you know what? And I said this with Rock. I said, for a guy who much needed to hit, a guy who's been in the back of a milk carton for quite some time now, comes up big in a clutch moment. That's what's scary about this offense. And like, I don't know if play-by-play Double J, you called me earlier. I said one thing about this offense is just when someone looks like they're about to hit the ice cold skids, they turn around with a pop, and then you're just like, wow. So
yeah, it's always somebody on this team. Like, and that's what makes this Phillies team so dangerous, Pat, is that they literally can go You can literally go. If somebody's down in the lineup, somebody's picking somebody up every day.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part. Again, guys, if you have not checked in, if you're checking in maybe from another part of the country, the Phillies went 7-1. They pretty much put a touchdown on on the Marlins. And just again for a guy who had big time worries about the Marlins, problems no, they were pretty much taken care of. So Steve checking in goes. Walker would be okay against the offensively inferior opponent against which length was needed. His first inning in the second half are atrocious. Yeah, and
It's
that's
atrocity. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I've been saying. Like, we knew when you got him from the Mets, like people who I knew who were Mets fans said, look, you're getting a dude that can eat up a lot of innings, but he's up and down. And he's been up and down. And that's basically what he's been. Like, he got off to a good start. Philly's got him some really good, runs. So,
and here goes another one. Rojas earned the bad MF for Wallet. Marsh will be in left field for the Braves series. Expect maybe against Fried. Here goes EOP checking. JJ is the man. Appreciate it, EOP. Dave Yarno, what's up, Dave? What's going on,
buddy?
Dave? And then here goes Steve checking. Is Nola wasn't afraid to touch towards a bat tonight. That's who they needed to be. He was rewarded with DP and pickoffs. Yeah, double plays and pickoffs. And that's right, Steve. He was very good with getting the double plays, picking all people. He was really, really fine. So again, we haven't really touched on what the players have done tonight. So let's get back to it, Mike. So you got the players, right? You have, again, Schwarber had a hit. One hit. You had Turner with 2 hits. You had Bowman with a hit. You had Harper with no hits, but also you had 2 walks and a.
Yeah, I was about to say, he got on base twice tonight.
Remuto was pretty big tonight, 2 for 4. You had Nick Castellanos went 0 for 4, but he had a running. So, and of course, we all know Bryce Stott 1 hit, but he had a grand salami.
Yeah, he had the 1 hit, and that's it.
And Pache and Rojas go 0 for 3, both of them. So,
this is our boy Joey Marks checking in.
Oh, the big time porn star. Here he is. The Phillies team was very bright. The Phillies team has a very bright future with the daycare, Bowman Stott. Yeah. Here goes Dave Arnold. Hey, fellas, did you notice the umpire's strike zone was exactly on point tonight?
Yeah, I noticed that. He called a lot of stuff. He called a couple high strikes.
Hey, Dave, as a guy who likes to work heel in professional wrestling, he's a little cheated for the Phils, and I'm okay with that because I'm a cheater myself. So I like to work the heel role, and he helped the Phillies win tonight.
Yeah, Ross is bringing up the same thing. He said how bad was the umpire for both sides. I mean, he did that one. I thought it was Angel Hernandez. Yeah, the one dude, what was that Chazin? Yeah. I think it was the 7th inning. It was Noah's last inning. Dude, he threw a dead ball. He rung him up. I think he rung him up. And I was like, wow, that was a bad pitch. I mean, good for us, but.
So, and here goes one thing. Matty B always has an issue with the Phillies. And there was no issue with this one, too. This was a gray area they didn't have tonight. And that was leaving guys in scoring position. They capitalized on everyone tonight. They capitalized. They were stealing bases. And again, it goes back to square one. Aggressive base running. Once again, a manager leaves a reliever in too long in Robinson. Hey, listen.
That's not our problem this year.
Hey, listen. That's not a Phillies issue, okay? Let the Marlins.
I'm glad he left them in.
Yeah, because that's going to be a nice 2.5-hour ride flight back to Miami with sad faces.
But you know what, though? They got a bright future, though.
They do. And that's why I said to you on Sunday, they didn't make the postseason for a long time. Think about it. Last year, they were, not to use the cliche here, but they were dead in the water. No pun intended. But again, they made it to the postseason when no one expected them to make it to the postseason. And they did. They got a young team. And listen, they could be problems moving forward in the NL East. And here goes a lot of problems. So again, here goes one I had. One with you, Mike. I think Solar was going to be an issue. 2 strikeouts tonight. A lot of the Marlins. A lot of these guys recorded 2 strikeouts or more. So there were 6 strikeouts combined from the Marlins tonight. So again, Nola did his thing. Nola did his thing. And speaking of Nola, let's get back to what he did tonight as far as pitching. In case if everyone's wondering, Nola only had 3 Ks. 3 Ks again, allowed 3 hits and allowed 1 walk. So great. Not really booming numbers. Again, like Steve mentioned earlier in the comments, there he did though subtract it with all the double plays.
Hey, Joey, to answer your question, buddy, I'm going with Ranger. I believe it's going to be Ranger versus Strider for game one. You just got to hope that those Atlanta bats kind of being off those extra 3 days, kind of go quiet like they did last year. But I think the Phillies can hit with them. You know what I mean? Like the Phillies can mash. And, I think if they take the first game down there, it's going to creep in the Braves' head. Because it's going to look and say, "Oh man, this is last year happening all over again." And then instead of getting, if Ranger goes down and wins game one, okay, it's going to be really, really, really tough.
Mike, we did Sherry's tickets.
Yeah, we did that already, buddy.
Okay, so
let's
listen,
do David
guys.
Cherry.
Let's do our man David Cherry. Well, Mike, you know what? You take it away since you know David Cherry personally.
I don't know him personally, but David R. Cherry, for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. Right now, we've been talking, me and Dave, but or actually my wife and Dave, but that's cool. But yeah, guys, any of these things, if you need legal, make sure you hit them up at www.cherryinjurylaw.com or at 610-565-0300. Again, David R. Cherry, make sure you hit him up and tell him that the boys from EOP sent you over there.
Yeah, right on, Mike. And guys, if you guys are, this ain't exactly the Blue Oyster. It's not my kind of bar, but if you're looking for a good time, you want to go hang out, meet a Philadelphia athlete, a legend, here's where you need to go. Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park. It's right there. Look, Quizos, music, great times, prizes, you name it. Dolan's Bar has got where has it all going on. So guys, go check out Dolan's Bar. Go let them know EOP sent you and have a time of your life. Go relax, man. Go kick your feet up after this nice Phillies win. So, guys, and if you need
it, listen, if you want to go there to watch it, if you want to go there to watch a game, definitely go to Dolan's. I was there last year for Game 2 of the World Series. Lenny Dykstra was in the house, guys.
Well, that's
you never know who you're going to see when you go there, and make sure you say hi to PJ and tell him that we set you over.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up with these last couple of comments, and then we're going to roll out of here because me and Mike have to go work for the state. So real fast, let's quickly get into some of these quick comments, and then we'll move forward. So right here, the line may be.
No. We already did this one.
All right, so
go to Dave's.
Oh, so Dave says Miami hurt themselves with the pickoff, and at the third, I think it was the third inning.
Yeah, he's right. They had a chance.
Again, Dave, the manager over there pushed the panic button way too early because they were down by 2 runs. So again, they hurt themselves. My man, the big dog checking in, the Mayfair Monster. Here he goes. You got to go with Wheeler in game 1 and Nola in game 2.
Can't give Wheeler 6
days off and Nola 7 days off in the playoffs. Yeah, Matty B, we totally agree.
You gotta wait and see what they do.
I think they are going to go Ranger. But yeah, you're going to see what they do. And look, Matty B, I'm with you. I do want to see them go Wheeler. Steve checking in. Wait until Justin Crawford and Brian Brancon make it up to the team next year. The outfielder is going to be so deep that they could sustain a 3 injury next year and just not miss a beat. Yeah, I totally agree. Roy Noss checking in. The Braves chop is the most annoying thing I've ever heard. It infuriates me. Hey, listen, you're preaching to the choir there, Roy.
Oh, this one's for you, Pat.
Here he goes. My
Joey
man Joe
Marks.
Mark. He goes, I'm going to contact Dave Cherry today to get a restraining order against Pat. Hey, listen. Hey, Dave. Hey, Joe. You might want to line up the rest of the people. I got about 12 on me. For a good time. So here goes our man, real fast. Steve goes, there are a lot of emerging arms and bars. So to sustain a 3 or 4 year transition away from the current vets will be, but we got to win for the first ring first. Yeah, I totally agree. We got to get our first ring. Advice for the Braves and Diamondbacks: don't play us scared. Yeah, you're gonna do again that nasty lineup.
Dave Young says, Mike, I can see Wheels pitching Saturday after throwing 100 pitches yesterday. I can't see it. I don't know, Dave. You know, it kind of. I think they're going to go with how he feels. Even though he threw it, but I could definitely see him saying, "Give me the ball. I want to go." I mean, you could definitely see that. But my whole thing is, are you going to make Ranger wait 2 weeks to pitch? Like if he's your number 3, you're not going to make him wait 3 weeks to pitch.
Right. Exactly. So, Joe, we will talk about Hoskins at another time. Right now, I'm with Matty B. I don't want him in the lineup. I hope he gets traded. I hope he's gone. I don't need him here. His position has been filled. So you're in. So anyway, guys, listen. Me, Mike, want to thank everybody who's chimed into the show. We definitely appreciate it. So again, there won't be game 3, so unfortunately, you don't get the tag team of Al and Mike.
You get to see me. You get to see me tomorrow night.
A whole hour at 6 p.m. Not only he'll be talking Phils, he's got Eagles for you and so forth. And then after him, Friday night, 10 p.m., guys, we'll take a break from all the sports talk and we'll get in some wrestling. So with the Steel Steps crew, come at you live. But guys, again, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate the love. Like I said, tomorrow night, Mike's Big for 4. He's back in the house.
Locker Room Sports Show, baby, 6 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. And for myself, Mike Laurel, and for that knucklehead to my left, Pat Bernard.
Yeah. So look, big Phillies win. A big Union win tonight. Union go off the handles. Phillies go off the handles. So guys, with all that, see you later.